Have you watched any of the media that you've done on this podcast? Like, again?
Since I did it on the podcast?
Yeah.
I've watched so many times Wizards of the Lost Kingdom. I had a friend over, we watched it.
That's good.
Yeah, I did I told you. I did the Mystery Science Theater episode, and I did the Mac and Me one, because yes, please. Then I did the Riff Tracks version. I had a friend over, we watched it, because she didn't believe how crazy it was. I'm like, yeah, it is. And we had a lot of fun. So yes, Danielle, the answer is absolutely. Hello and welcome to Book Retorts. I'm Sam.
I'm Danielle.
And this is the podcast about sharing your weird media finds with your friends who don't know what you're talking about.
That's me.
Always, Danielle. That's always you. I can't get rid of you.
You could have someone else on. You choose not to. That's
We do.
your
We have
problem.
Philip on all the time, but you're still here somehow.
Somehow. I know
Somehow.
you'd rather have Philip. Philip, he'd rather have you.
Sometimes, for sure. But today I have a movie that goes back to my weird childhood. Another movie from my childhood that I decided to revisit and see, did it live up to my childhood experiences? And
Perfect.
boy, did it.
Not the movie that I watched recently that I was afraid for some bizarre reason that you would do on the podcast today.
What a choice, Danielle. What a choice to be afraid
Sometimes
about.
it gets stuck in your head. You're like, what if they watch the same movie I just watched?
Okay, Danielle. Well, don't you text me every movie you ever watch. I'll just confirm whether I've watched it or not. We can have that happen.
Good.
Yeah, me too. I don't need a million texts a day.
I don't watch a million. Who watches a million movies a day? Not even physically possible.
Yeah, okay, Danielle. Pretend like you don't understand hyperbole.
What's that?
Yep, okay, great. It's going to be that kind of day, I suppose. Today, we're going to have very contrarian Danielle on the podcast.
No, you just talked to me for like 29 minutes. You know I'm not that contrary this morning.
Okay, we'll see how the future goes.
That's true. Podcast's a whole other beast.
Yes, it is. But to return to the subject at hand, Danielle, the movie I brought to you is the 1985 movie, Daryl.
Sure. Let's do it.
Well, here's your summary.
Is it about Daryl?
You tell me.
This is a stupid IMDb summary.
Nope, this is Amazon Prime.
Everyone in town is in awe of young Daryl's extraordinary talents and abilities, and so are his foster parents.
Nothing of a description is a joke. Let me send you the actual one I pulled from a different website because, boy, does Amazon Prime do it bad. They're so bad.
Is that not the plot of Daryl?
I mean, it's the plot of literally anything it could be, I suppose. But here you go. Enjoy this one.
2.0. Pushed out of a moving vehicle. Well, that would be something.
Way more interesting. Yeah.
A 10-year-old boy, Barrett Oliver, is found by an elderly couple and brought to an orphanage.
No, he's not. To put it out there.
Why would an elderly couple take him to the orphanage?
So they take him to a, we'll get into it, don't worry.
All he can remember is his name, Daryl. Sent to foster parents Joyce, Mary Beth Hurt, and Andy Richardson, Michael McKean. Daryl is the perfect son. I bet he's not. I bet I just put it out there.
Oh, boy,
Is this
Danielle.
a horror?
I'm not telling.
It sounds like the beginning of a horror movie.
All right. Well, after I gave you a 2 for special there, Danielle, because I thought that first one was so funny, but also completely useless.
It is. Agreed.
All right. Let's get into 1985's Daryl. Open on a shot of some mountains where suddenly a helicopter comes zooming over. We cut to a man in a blue car driving erratically through the mountains and dirt road with a very proper little lad sitting calmly in the back seat.
Uh-huh.
Blazer lad. And it's the best way to describe it. I thought hard about
I got what you meant.
Yeah, it's great. A little proper little lad in the back of this car that's just going bent for leather all the way through this mountain twisty road. Near the woods, the car pulls over, and the boy gets out and runs into the trees. And the car drives off.
Okay.
So, not really pushed out of a movie car.
He was not
as much.
pushed out of a movie. I am disappointed, actually. I was really thinking that was going to be the beginning of this.
Yeah, it's very funny that, both descriptions are not particularly accurate, but one at least has more details about being inaccurate, so that's fun.
And so he doesn't go to an orphanage, but he is picked up by an elderly couple.
I don't think it's an orphanage so much as I'll get to it.
How much did the elderly couple play into this movie?
They're 2 minutes. 2 minutes or so.
I love that they're mentioned in the summary. That
They're
feels
irrelevant.
like I had a feeling it had nothing to do with anything. I thought maybe the elderly couple was going to adopt him, but then it turned out that he's got foster parents that are completely different than the elderly people, and that was confusing to me.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't think they say more than like one or two words in the entire movie.
Interesting.
So the little boy runs off into the woods in a little blazer, very cute. We cut to an old couple. Guess who it is? It's them. And a beat-up pickup truck pulling out of the woods onto the dirt road. The blue car swerves to miss them as the helicopter catches up and flies behind it. The man points his car deliberately at the end of the road and guns it off a cliff. Bye-bye, man in blue car. We knew you so well.
So there's two things going on. This kid's lost or whatever, running into the woods, and then there's a helicopter chasing a blue car.
Well, it's a blue car that had the kid in it, who then got out of the blue car.
Oh, and the blue car goes, I didn't realize that. Sorry. This is very difficult. It's not how I thought this movie was going to start.
The second sentence was, we cut to a man in a blue car with a very proper little lad.
Yeah, but I got stuck on the proper little lad part and was like, the blue car completely left my brain. I thought there were now separate cars. And then you start talking about like the elderly couple getting into their truck. And then I was like, is that the couple that just went over? I was all confused.
We gotta keep up, Danielle. We're barely
I got it. Too many cars.
To summarize, man in blue car being chased by a helicopter, drops a kid off into the woods, then drives off a cliff and kills himself.
Pushes them off out of a moving vehicle.
No, does not. Just listen to that nice and slow and gently. Meanwhile, the old couple finds the proper lad in a blazer and slacks standing in the middle of the woods. It's like, no, that's weird. The couple asks the kid his name, and he introduces himself as Daryl. He admits he doesn't know what he's doing out there, so they take him with them.
They're just like out in the woods? Why are they out in the woods?
They were like hunting or something. I don't know.
Okay.
This is a rural area. I don't know the details. The guy has a shotgun, if that gives you any clues.
Sure.
So we cut to small town USA as the couple drives Daryl to City Hall, where the man goes in, leaving Daryl in the car alone. I guess his wife disappeared.
Would go?
Danielle, questions.
I personally would not go to City Hall to drop off a kid or ask what I'm supposed to do with them.
I would either go to like, a police station, or more likely if I could find a foster service or like, child services place, right?
Yeah, they'd probably still have to go through the police station. There's got to be, because you'd have, yes.
But this is that kind of like small town where everyone knows each other. And so he's going like, hey, Mayor, I found a kid in the woods. What do I do with them or something? I'm guessing.
Okay, sure.
Does not matter. Because he leaves Daryl alone in the car, and Daryl immediately gets out of the car because apparently no one is watching him. This man finds a child in the woods, is like, I'll leave him alone. What could go wrong?
Well, why would he think he's going to get out of the car, to be fair?
Well, Daryl gets out of the car, and he sees some kids playing basketball next to City Hall. I guess there's a basketball court there.
Sure, why not? Small town.
And he goes up to see them. He's now dressed in overalls and flannel, so I don't really know how long it's been. Or if they decide, hey, you're going to blend in. Your fancy blazer and slacks ain't going to cut it here in rural America. Get into this, like, overalls and flannel.
You're too fancy, little lad.
Too fancy for these parts. We don't take kindly to fancy little lads in these areas. Which is not true. I always take kindly to fancy little lads. Love them.
Except maybe this one, we don't know. Is this one good or bad? We'll find out.
We'll find out. Anyway, I think it's wild. Like, I have no sense of time, or if they're like, they were driving him to the City Hall and they decided to have him like change the backseat of their car for whatever reason to blend in. Doesn't make any sense. Anyway, he goes up to the kids when one of them starts shouting foul, and then like goes with Daryl and says, hey, you saw it. Was that a foul? And Daryl's like, I don't know. And he runs away. So.
Oh, poor kid.
Yeah.
Put on the spot.
So we cut back to the old man shaking Daryl's hand in the middle of the street as the music swells. And next we cut to Daryl in a van labeled Barkington Child Care Center. So that's where they're taking him, to the child care center, not an orphanage. It's like a little, foster home placement place.
How big is this town?
Unclear. Big enough to have suburbs.
Okay. It was like big enough to have its own child care service.
Yeah, but also like it's very small town coded. It's weird. Unclear. It doesn't matter. We then cut to Daryl in the shower, then being examined by a doctor. However, he's asked to read the letters on the eye chart behind him. He quickly glances back and then looks forward again and recites the entire chart. So clearly, very special little lad.
Because he glances at it and then can remember all of them?
Yeah, the entire eye chart. Okay. Yeah. Are you paying attention at all?
No, it just, the way you said it, I couldn't tell if he was like just had 20/20 vision, or if he was still looking at the chart.
He glanced at it and looks away and recites the whole thing. Looks forward again.
Yeah, I can't even read it when I'm staring at it, so good on him.
So we cut to Daryl meeting Elaine and her husband Howie in the center barracks, who clearly worked there. And the husband sits Daryl down and tells him that someone is definitely looking for him. And until they hear from them, they'll make him comfortable here. And I'm like, don't lie to that child. Don't tell them there's someone definitely looking for them when you don't know that. Just give them false hope.
That's a weird thing to say. Agreed.
It is like, then when it doesn't happen, he's going to be like, you lied to me. Where are my parents? Anyway, weird choices.
Is that how he talks?
Yes, he talks like that.
Is that how Daryl, the fancy little lad, talks?
I wish he did like a Mickey Mouse voice the whole time.
I thought he was British.
Nope, he's American.
He's fancy, though.
Fancy lad. The doctor pulls Howie aside and tells him that Daryl's 100% there physically, but he has substantial amnesia. Doesn't remember his parents or home or anything, but it's probably psychological, not physiological, so they just have to take care of him and hopefully it'll all come back.
Fingers crossed, or not. Probably a lot of trauma if you can't remember it.
Unless he's a demon baby with no past who just appeared there in the woods.
Or like an android. That could be it, too.
Sure. So Howie goes back to Daryl and explains that after a few days, they'll find him a foster family to take care of him until his parents come to get him. Daryl says, thank you. It's extremely kind of you to be looking after my welfare like this. And Howie's a little slightly put off by his eloquence.
Are you sure he's not British?
I guess, Danielle, if he was British, he would have ended that with innant.
Different kind of accent than I was thinking about, but okay.
Nope, gotta be Cockney.
That's not as fancy.
I think you can have fancy Cockney lads. Danielle, don't be prejudiced.
I'm not. Love you, people who speak Cockney accents with Cockney accents.
Boy, all right, we're going to move on before you piss off the entire continent.
If we don't mess with somebody every episode, what's even the point?
That's true. Cut to a construction site. Howie pulls up and talks to the foreman, Andy, and it looks like Andy is going to be taking in Daryl. We cut to Andy driving home. His wife is giving piano lessons. The girl she's teaching says she couldn't practice as much due to homework. The woman says, gee, I wonder if Mozart ever complained about homework. So, good teaching. Mozart. Yeah, what he was thinking about in whatever was homework. Not comparable, lady.
Is she really good at piano, the kid?
No, terrible.
Then what's even the point?
Why do people give piano lessons to kids if they don't like them? It's a question.
I mean, why does anybody do a job where they clearly hate the demographic they're talking to?
No, I mean, Joyce is a good piano teacher. The child is not very good at piano yet. I don't know if it's like her first lesson or what.
Is Joyce a good piano teacher, though? She just said that catty thing about Mozart.
To be fair, she said it in like a endearing, joking way. So
okay, sure.
But I did find it very that's off-putting. Before she smiled and laughed and said, tell your mom hi for me and send the kid off. Anyway, Andy tells his wife, Joyce, about Daryl and that they need a foster home as they try to find his parents. His wife says, of course they'll do it. They'll never let them adopt if they don't foster first, which questions. We're not going to get to that. Cut to Daryl meeting them at their home. It's sweet and awkward, of course. Andy tries to toss Daryl a baseball. He pulls up the mantle, and Daryl just lets it hit him in the chest and, does nothing, reacts in no way at all.
Do they know this is, a potential temporary 2-day situation? Okay.
They know that until they find his real parents. They said they didn't foster him until they find his parents, and Andy's it's temporary, and Joyce is sure, I get that, but at least it's a start, kind of thing.
Sure, okay.
Cut to Joyce and Andy watching Daryl sleep. Creepy. She's very happy, even if he won't necessarily be with them for long. The next morning, Joyce is making a cake? A cake for breakfast? Unclear what time it is.
I mean, yes, please.
And some kid has his face pressed up against her screen door. And Joyce apparently knows this kid as Turtle, who's the son of Howie and Elaine, the other women.
Maybe they should just adopt him.
Okay, just steal him from his parents? Their neighbors?
Why not?
Is that how it works, Danielle, the adoption process?
I don't know. That's not true.
I mean,
I'm intimately familiar with the adoption process.
You know way more about than I do, so you tell me.
No, that's generally not true, everybody.
Yeah,
do
you
not
can just
steal your neighbor's
off the
children.
street. Yeah, okay, good. So why suggest it? Anyway, she invites Turtle in, and he says, where's this famous kid you got? My dad keeps on saying how he's real cute. I think it's envy, even though I keep pointing out he's got 100% boy of his own, namely me, which is very sad.
Oh, poor Turtle.
Also, what? Your dad's saying, hey, the new kid they got, he's real cute. I'm no, stop.
Cuter than you, Turtle.
Cuter than you, Turtle. But Dad, I'm 100% boy of your own. Which is, this movie's crazy, Danielle. Like most of...
I would pay to watch that conversation, but I'm 100% boy of your own,
I'm 100% your boy, Pa. The DNA test
boy
proved
of
it.
your own.
A horse and a boy of his own. Man.
Don't know why that tickled me so much.
Most of the movies I do, like this, in the 80s especially, like, this movie isn't weird on the face of it, but the implications that it presents are what make it insane. Like, the implication that there was a conversation where this man, who is part of like a child care services thing, comes home to his family and says, we just put a new foster kid in with our neighbors, and he's a real cute kid. Turtle, do better. Also, we named you Turtle because we hate you.
I mean, clearly that's a nickname, probably.
Yeah, I know, but I like to throw this in because he never gets another name in the movie, so I don't know.
Well, that's his nickname. That's what people call, I mean,
as far as I know, that's his whole name, as far as I can tell. He's just Turtle. So anyway, Joyce calls Daryl down to meet Turtle. They go to hang out, and Turtle starts grilling Daryl on his memory loss after promising not to. He's like, hey, how come you remember how to read and stuff, but nothing about your past life, or family, or school?
Expecting kids not to ask him a million questions is silly.
It is dumb. And they're all like 10 years old, so it's fine. And Daryl's like, memory's selective. The doctor says it might all just come back at once, etc., etc.
Does Turtle die? Like, does Daryl murder him?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Stake through the heart. He's a vampire. Murders him.
It feels like... Okay, it depends on which way this is going. If this is more like superhero-y special abilities, then it's different, obviously. Saves town, I don't know. But if it's like a horror movie version, then Turtle's gonna die.
We can only hope.
I don't want Turtle to die.
You might have to know this.
Okay, well, if Turtle's terrible, then yes.
I don't know if he's terrible. He's just kind of an annoying 10-year-old, which is like all of them, so I get it. Been there.
You never.
Yeah, right? Sweet little young me was perfect.
I was a great 10-year-old, so I didn't have that problem.
Bet. Turtle invites Daryl over to his house to play on their new computer and meet his sister. And because the 80s were crazy, he gave his sister the nickname Hooky because she dates every night and is, quote, an amateur hooker. Man, not great. Yeah. And it creates this whole like running joke where Daryl keeps asking like, what's a hooker to everyone? And I know, it's not my favorite part of the movie. Let me put it that way.
It's in 1985, right?
Yeah.
What are they playing on the computer? Because...
We'll get to that.
Okay.
Back at Turtle's house, they're playing the racing game Pole Position. I think it was like a Commodore 64 game or something like that.
Sure.
Yeah. While his sister asks Daryl the same questions about his memory again. So like the movie really wants you to figure out that Daryl has amnesia. If you haven't figured it out yet.
I got that when they said it originally. I didn't actually need Danielle, 8 million pieces of proof.
But Danielle, did you get that Daryl has amnesia?
So far. I mean, as far as I know, he might be lying.
But don't forget, Danielle, don't get amnesia yourself or forget that Daryl has amnesia.
If I had amnesia, would I know that I had it?
No, but I don't care if you get amnesia. I just care that if you do get amnesia, don't forget Daryl has amnesia.
Okay, but I would, Sam.
You're going to forget anyway, even without amnesia. So Turtle crashes the virtual car, and Daryl asks to give it a shot, and immediately he's amazing at it. Flawless. Turtle and his sister are super impressed, and he crashes the high score. So Daryl eventually asks Turtle why he wants to annoy his family with, like, the nicknames, and Turtle just says, for a genius, you can be real stupid. So apparently everyone's, like, talking about how Daryl's, like, super smart and everything.
Well, he is so far.
So far. The next day, Joyce takes Daryl to his first day of school. In the first class, a teacher has a girl up front and is berating her about how he despises cheating, since she apparently just asked a girl for help on the test they were taking minutes ago, and he's calling her like a despicable cheat. And it is intense.
It is, but also, why did you ask for help on a test?
Good question. Also, though, they're 10-year-olds, Danielle. Cut some slack.
I don't think she should get berated in front of the whole class, but...
This dude is, like, abusive. Like, not even borderline. I was going to say borderline, but 100% abusive verbally. Yeah. It's crazy. Like, I get consequences, sure. But don't, like, come up there like, you are a despicable cheat. I despise cheaters. Like, okay, take it down a notch there, buddy.
He also hates children.
Why do they always have, like, the teachers who hate children being teachers in 80s movies?
I don't know, because I've known a lot of teachers, and none of them hated children.
Like, I'm not saying there aren't a few bad teachers out there, but generally, you don't get into the teaching job, which is not glamorous or high paying, if you don't actually like interact with children. I'm just putting it out there.
As a whole.
Anyway, as she walks back to her desk, she smiles and winks at Daryl. 10-year-olds, who knew?
I winked at a lot of people when I was 10.
Yeah, you were a saucy little girl.
Well, I wasn't fancy, so.
You were the fancy little lad and his saucy girls. That sounds like a band, like a Jackson 5 style band. The fancy little lad and his saucy girls. Backup singers.
I would listen to that.
Yeah, you would. Right. I wanted to make like a K-pop band that's called that, like adults. Tell them that wouldn't be like the most popular band in the world.
It's a 60s throwback band, Sam. That's obviously what it is.
Yeah, of course. You can do that with K-pop.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know, Danielle. I don't know much about K-pop. You're the K-pop expert here.
I would not call myself an expert by any stretch of the imagination.
Compared to me.
Sure, in comparison to you.
Yeah. So I expect a proposal for this band project on my desk tomorrow.
On it.
Great. Thank you. So then the teacher, after this long speech, says he'll pretend it didn't happen this time, but if it happens again, heads will roll.
Murder you 10-year-olds.
He does make like the little hand across the throat gesture, like finger across the throat gesture. So yeah, he's going to chop their heads
Imagine
off.
the trauma these children have about cheating now.
Also, it's wild to me to have this giant, minute-long tirade about cheating. Like, I'm just going to let it slide. Why? Why even bother?
Maybe the discussion in front of the whole class was punishment enough.
Yeah, I guess. It was very awkward. So he tells them to exchange papers and grade each other's work. And, did that happen in the 80s? Because that's a crazy way to do things. What's the teacher going to do?
Had classes where we switched work. And I don't know if it was tests, but we definitely did the switched work and corrected
Yeah,
thing.
I've done that, where you have, an English class or, at a writing assignment, you want to evaluate each other's, stories or whatever.
I remember doing that in elementary, maybe middle school, where it was, math and stuff like that, where you'd switch with somebody else.
Interesting. Well, maybe it was just me then.
You couldn't correct your own test.
Right, sure. I guess. It's a weird
Maybe
thing
it was
to do.
a way. Maybe you should do that more often in your professorial job, Sam, so that you don't have to do homework when you get home.
I
thought
wish.
it through.
The problem is, Danielle, and I love this about them, the students are very supportive of each other, just give each other A's all the time, which I love. I love the solidarity.
It could be fun, though, a little extra bonus.
Yeah, sure.
At the end of the year.
Grade each other's work. What a choice. So anyway, Daryl takes Turtle's test and starts marking it up immediately. And teacher's like, hey, wait a minute. What are you doing? I haven't given you the answers yet. And Daryl first attempts to smile and wink at the teacher, presumably aping what the girl did.
Mm-hmm. Robot.
And says that he'll find they're all correctly checked, even number 9, which had an error in the 8th decimal place, but only a calculus system could show that. The teacher, completely nonplussed, just kind of walks away as the girls all swoon over Daryl.
You're so smart.
Did, math skills get you girls? What did I not have that experience?
You weren't around in 1985, Sam.
And I wasn't, a fancy little lad, so I guess it didn't work for me.
I think it's the mix. It's the smartness and being a fancy little lad.
Curses, I never had a chance.
You could have been fancy. You chose not to be.
I don't think so, Danielle. Have you met me?
Yeah, you're the opposite of fancy.
Well, now that's being hurtful.
No, you're not the opposite.
So we cut to Andy trying to teach Daryl and Turtle baseball, or at least trying to teach Daryl baseball because he is obsessed. And we'll get into his, this 80s competitive dad coach thing is a trope I'm glad we don't have anymore. And he's taking it way too seriously. He sets Daryl up to bat and tosses an easy one, which, and I don't know how, Daryl hits it, but drops the bat in pain from his wrists. Apparently he wasn't holding the bat tightly enough.
He's got bird wrists?
Bird wrists, yes, Danielle. So the second pitch, though, he knocks it across the block. Andy, super impressed, throws another, and Daryl knocks it over the next house. And he's like, Daryl, you're my new secret weapon against the Warriors, our rival team. We're finally going to win a game against them this year.
That's true, though.
Yeah. Again, don't take that too seriously, guys. It's just Little League. Who cares?
Clearly, you've never seen Little League movies.
I have. And if I remember anything from Bad News Bears, the thing you like to say over and over again is not to take it too seriously.
That's how you win in the end if you don't take it too seriously.
That's
you gotta go out there for the love of the sport.
That's right. And so Andy is a bad role model is my point.
If I learned anything from Little Giants.
That's not baseball, but close enough.
It's not, but it's a sport movie. Or Mighty
Sure,
Ducks. You gotta go out there for the love of the sport.
No, the Mighty Ducks lesson was ducks fly together. Come on, Danielle.
Love of the sport, Sam.
No.
Love
ducks
of each
fly
other,
together.
love of the sport.
Very different things. So later, Andy and Joyce are having a barbecue with Turtle's parents, and Andy is still going off and on about how the other Little League team sucks, and they're terrible, and I hate them. And in their last game, they were getting creamed until Turtle apparently spiked their sodas with vodka. And Turtle's parents are like, wait, you did what? And Turtle's like, oh, no. I was just water. And then he's like, wait, then you owe me money for that liquor, Turtle. And like, wait a minute. This guy, as the coach, was like, hey, Turtle, you have a plan to spike these children with vodka. Let me give you the money to make this a reality.
Yes. 80s man.
That's what I'm going to say. Like, that's insane. Like, he didn't like tell, like, I can imagine like a kid come, hey, let's all spike their drinks to make them, lose. And the coach would be like, no, that's insane. He's like, yeah, on board. Here's $20. Go to the liquor store, buy a bottle of vodka on your own and do it. It's like,
but you could probably do it in 1985. You could say it was for your mom or something.
Right. Insane. Anyway, my point is Andy is an irresponsible man and should not have a child or be coaching children. The fact that he's fostering Daryl makes Daryl in danger is what I'm saying.
I think Daryl's going to be fine.
My point is both Andy and Joyce, they are not ready to be parents. I'll get to her issues momentarily. Anyway, after the kids go off to play, Joyce is all, Daryl seems a little off, He's great, but he's so helpful and honest to a fault where he'll just like blurt out things that people say, like have told him previously in confidence or whatever, like gossip just to everyone. And he's just
Has anybody tried to explain to him what secrets are? He probably just doesn't know. Because he's a robot.
Probably. And the other parents were like, what are you complaining about? You got the kind of kid other parents would kill for. And Joyce says, it's not that. It's only that he doesn't seem to need anyone. It just doesn't feel needed as a mother would. And I'm like, Joyce.
That's not what it's about, man.
It's not about you, Joyce. I mean, look, I get that it's nice to be a mother and feel needed and like your kid, you love your kid and you want them to respect you and look up to you, all that kind of stuff. But like, if the kid is happy and healthy, you're doing a great job. It doesn't need to be about getting your like emotional needs filled by your child. That's wild.
I'm still concerned that they haven't had a sit down talk with him. If that's an issue that they've noticed that he does, where he just speaks his mind and doesn't, understand social cues, then perhaps.
I mean, he's a little awkward. He's not like as bad as but he is kind of just like, he asks people like, oh, what's a hooker all the time? Because that's the running joke in the movie.
Right. But as a parent, that's part of that's what he needs, Joyce.
Yeah.
Like he needs
there you go, Joyce.
You to sit down and have a talk with him about like social cues.
It's a good point, Danielle. Instead of complaining about how he doesn't rely on you enough and make you feel needed as a mother, maybe you could like do some parenting.
Yeah. I feel like this problem could potentially be solved because from everything you've told me so far, Daryl just doesn't seem to know.
And this movie tries to paint Andy and Joyce as like the best parents. The best place for him is with them, right? And I'm like, no, absolutely not.
I already disagree. We're only like 10 minutes into their storyline.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like, guys, oh, you did not do a good job of like, I don't know if this was like normal parenting in the 80s, and if so, I'm surprised anyone made it out alive, but
well, yeah, boy. Gen X, like, run outside and never come back, like.
I mean, that's fine, but like also helping your children commit crimes and felonies by spiking other children with liquor or trying to make your child be your emotional support, like that is different.
We're just a different generation, Sam.
Yeah, anyway, crazy. But maybe I'm the weird one. So later that night, Daryl and Turtle are using walkie-talkies to spy on Turtle's sister as she gets home from a date.
Creepy.
Children.
We had that in another movie, too, where they did something creepy with an older sibling.
Yeah, that was the Monster Squad, where they were spying on the kid's older sister through the window with binoculars, because
also
creepy children are creepy. Yeah. The 80s, man, not a good time for women.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Daryl is watching Forbidden Planet on TV and doing a puzzle at the same time, because he's a genius, Danielle, with amnesia.
He's doing a puzzle and watching TV?
Yeah, I know, right?
Crazy
what a genius.
talk.
While talking to Turtle on a walkie-talkie.
I am so smart. I can't even, if this is the level of intelligence that we need.
Yeah. Having, what's it called? A second screen viewing makes you a genius. That, boy, is America going in the right direction, because,
I do puzzles while watching TV all of the time while I'm on my phone.
Crazy. Anyway, the 80s, again, very funny. The next day, Andy is taking Daryl to the baseball game. Or maybe, again, could be a week later or a month later. Unclear. He stopped by an ATM to get cash, but it says insufficient funds. And he's like, I know it's an error. I have at least $1,500 in there.
Who is doing this?
Andy.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Put your listening ears on.
What? Sometimes it's hard, Sam. This is hours of listening to you talk at me.
It's like 90 minutes on average. And it's a conversation, not at you.
I was thinking about puzzles.
There's the real answer, Danielle. Thank you.
Just kidding.
I don't think that's true. So Daryl's like, what's wrong? And he says, there must be an error with the computer. And Daryl says, computers don't make errors. People do. And boy, Daryl, the future is not that bright. I admire the optimism of the 80s where like, computers are amazing. They never make mistakes. You're like, boy, is the 2000s and the 2025 is going to be a big wake-up call for you guys.
Daryl is a computer, and the guy that released him into the woods is like his programmer.
Okay, sure, go with that, Danielle.
I am going with that. That is my current thought process. I could change at a moment's whim depending on how horror this wants to go.
I just love that like computers don't make errors, people don't like they make all kinds of errors. It's great. Anyway.
Errors all day, every day.
He is not that bright. So he takes the debit card from Andy and he keys in Andy's PIN code with like Andy just gives him the PIN code. Like, why just tell this random child anyway?
Yeah.
And he gets it to work, saying that maybe Andy keyed it in wrong and like
you still wouldn't get to your screen that tells you how much money you have.
And I'm trying to think that like if Andy can't put in his PIN code correctly, maybe he's not ready for children. That's all I'm saying. If he can't handle 4 digits on a keypad, maybe he's not ready to raise a child.
I feel like it would just say PIN code incorrect. I don't think I've ever entered
authorization.
Yeah, like I don't think I've ever entered it in wrong at ATM. I don't know what it would say, but I would imagine that's what it would say.
I'll admit, maybe I misunderstood what Daryl meant when he said he keyed it incorrectly. Maybe he keyed in his account withdrawal request incorrectly, or like entered, $10 million instead of $100 or whatever, and maybe that's what he's talking about. But it would still tell you the
amount in your. It comes. Okay, I don't know what ATMs were like in '85. I could be.
That's what I'm saying.
I could be wrong.
Exactly. I don't know what the technology was like then, but it gets real weird here. So Andy turns away to head back to the car, and Daryl sneakily punches more commands in the ATM, which takes Andy's balance from $1,500 to $1.5 million in the bank account.
Insane, but also that money has to be coming from somewhere.
No, just a number go up, Danielle. Money's fake. We made it up, so it's fine.
I mean, yes, but no.
You know what the craziest part, Danielle? This never comes up. Ever again.
Really?
Not even mentioned. Yep. The bank doesn't call Andy, hey, why'd your account suddenly go to 1.5 million with no transfers into your account? It doesn't magically change the number.
So I could see that nobody in the bank would necessarily notice this if it was some weird back-end
Andy doesn't notice it either. Nope.
Yeah, Andy not noticing it. He can't even check his account correctly. He didn't even know. I believe that he doesn't know that he has $1.5 million. I think this is solid logic, Sam.
I think it's insane that there's no like fraud alert or anything like. There's got to be something going. Like the government's not like, hey, your taxes, you owe us like $10 million in back taxes.
Not in 1985, apparently. Sam. It was a different world.
Apparently, either way, I find it insane they decided to have this happen with literally no reference to it again. Like, I thought this was going to come back up or like, oh, this happened. Like, nope, never.
I wouldn't have even known that ATMs were around in 1985. That seems like forever ago.
Technology, man, it's both older and newer than you think. So at the baseball game, Andy talks to the other coach, but then has to send Turtle running back to his house for the sodas and ice, which they forgot.
Oh, no.
At their house, Joyce is still complaining about how Daryl is too perfect to Turtle's mom and sister. Turtle overhears how he irons his own clothes, makes his own breakfast, polishes the floor in his bedroom. And she's like, he's a better mother than I am. And I'm like, Joyce, stop. Let Daryl be happy. If it makes him happy, stop trying to make it about you, Joyce. It's crazy.
Do you feel like this character, in retrospect, is sort of autistic coded?
Daryl?
Yeah.
Kind of. We'll get to it later. There is an explanation.
No, I'm sure there is. Obviously there is. I'm just wondering, this feels like one of those things where, your kid's unique or whatever, and the parents of 1985 had no idea how to deal with that.
I mean, yeah, if this was a more modern movie, this might be an allegory for autism. I could see that. But, this movie does not have that sophistication in any way. I
was just curious if that's how it was coming across.
No, I think it's just supposed to be how Daryl is just different and better than other kids. But how being a perfect kid isn't what Joyce as a mother wants. And we get into it a lot more in just a few minutes here.
Perfect. Love you, Joyce.
Yeah. So
I'm mad at her. How long has he been there? What, 3 days?
Apparently it's been months.
Oh, okay.
Again, I'm not sure if it's been months now, but
at some point it's months.
Time has passed. How much time? Unclear. As
movie
usual.
Time.
Movie time.
I've never realized till we did this podcast how much time
is
doesn't
just
make sense.
loosey-goosey in movies.
It's an illusion.
Yep. Because they just gloss over and figure your brain will fill in the gaps. It's
it
fine.
does, though. Like, I never previous to this thought, oh, wait, what day is it? Like,
we just see like next day. We say there's another day some time later, and that's good enough for us.
Yeah, it's amazing how much it makes you overthink it.
Yeah, well,
Ruined
welcome to the podcast. Back at the game, Daryl's up to bat and crushes the ball for a home run. And that's only the beginning. There's a brief montage of Daryl crushing homers and Andy getting cocky and mocking the other kids on the team. Like, he starts...
Jeez, Andy.
Yeah, he starts, like, doing the thing like he harasses the pitcher, like, come on, pitcher, hey, pitcher. Like, you're the coach of a Little League team. Those are children. You should not be heckling the other kids on the other team. Boy, is this not a good look for you. Is this supposed to make me like Andy? I know there are those people out there who are like, oh, we're too soft on kids, they don't understand competition, but like, this is just a guy who's a jerk and is way too into it. It's not good for anybody.
It's not good sportsmanship either.
No, it doesn't teach good sportsmanship or team skills. So anyway, Daryl runs up after his home run montage, and Sally talks to Joyce about how happy Andy's. Like, look, Andy's so happy. And Joyce is all like, yeah, he really is. And Daryl's like, what?
I wish he was sadder. I wish he wasn't as good as he is.
Yeah, I wish he was unhappy so I could fix him, and that gives me purpose. So Daryl goes to Turtle and is all like, is Joyce mad at me? Have I done something to upset her? And Turtle's like, I've been meaning to talk to you about this, give you my speech about grown-ups. And he tells him that parents need to feel that they are making progress with you. You have to mess up sometimes, just enough that you don't get whacked so they feel that you're learning something. Leave your room messy sometimes. Joyce needs to feel useful.
It's okay.
Yep. That's the thesis of this movie.
I mean, okay. But when I was 10,
process that.
I mean, Turtle apparently is like the smartest 10-year-old. But he's like the smartest 10-year-old ever. Yeah. Like, that's very insightful for a 10-year-old. I believe when I was 10, I didn't have no concept of that as a child.
Yeah. But also, like, that's not necessarily true. Like, I don't think most parents, or maybe, again, maybe I'm wrong. And I get that being a parent means wanting to help teach your kid and see them grow and learn and all that kind of stuff. But that happens whether they screw up or not. Like, kids are always learning. Like you talked about with teaching him about secrets or things like that. There's always opportunities for kids to learn. They don't have to be suffering to make them learn. I'm not saying mistakes aren't good learning experiences, but like, trying to force it and saying you have to pretend to screw up so your parents feel useful is putting a lot of emotional baggage on children.
And you will inevitably screw up just existing as a human without having to do extra screw up. But also, Joyce needs to accept that this is her kid is who he is.
Yes. This is Daryl.
If you're going to adopt this kid, then do it right.
Yeah, and if Daryl is happy, being helpful and like it makes him feel fulfilled to be helpful and like shows appreciation to his foster parents, like don't make him feel bad about that. That's terrible. It's a terrible lesson for the child.
Yeah, that's a weird. I don't like Joyce.
Yeah.
I don't like Andy either, but for like completely separate reasons.
It's amazing to me how quickly this movie's like, oh, these kind couple that have taken this poor foster kid, it's going to make a sweet story about them, like mentoring him and both learning to find family, about found family. No, the parents are just terrible. And poor Daryl just has to navigate their psychoses in different ways.
Yeah, Joyce needs therapy. Also, Andy does. They could use some therapy, both
he
together
needs anger
and
management
separate.
Therapy. Crazy. It's anyway, it's insane, Danielle. I was worried this movie was too like wholesome for the first half, but it quickly took a left turn. I'm like, oh, these characters are terrible. I didn't realize that as a child. Anyway, so Daryl takes that conversation to heart, and the next at bat, he purposely strikes out, just whiffs. As that's happening, Joyce starts like standing up in the bleachers like she's witnessing America, like the end of a sports movie or something. She's like, it's
opposite.
happening. He's failing. I'm like, Joyce, you're a bad person.
That's terrible. Like, genuinely terrible. That makes me so upset.
Yeah, and the movie like has the swelling music and paints it like this is a great moment that like Joyce is starting to feel connected to Daryl and Daryl is doing something to make Joyce happy. And it's like, no movie. This is bad. This is a toxic dynamic.
Yeah, that's a terrible thing to teach your child. Like, pleasing other people in that way is a terrible thing to teach your children.
Oh, it's insane. So as Daryl walks back, Turtle runs up and is all like, there's no need to blow the game. And Daryl says, you think the game is more important than Joyce? And then when Andy's like, hey, Daryl, what's going on? What happened? And he's like, I don't even like the game. All it is a dick measuring contest between you and the other coach. And then storms off saying, kiss my ass.
He's learning how to be a kid.
Yeah. And so Joyce, ecstatic, runs after Daryl and is like, I gotta go talk to him. I gotta be a parent for once. I'm like, you should be a parent all the time. You know?
Again, we have identified multiple situations where she would have stepped up as a parent.
How about you parent your husband and tell him not to put so much pressure on his kids that he coaches or harass the other children on the other team?
Absolutely wild take, Joyce.
Joyce is by far the character I think makes the least sense to me. And that'll become weirder as we get farther into and why that's crazy. So she excitedly tells Daryl that's okay to screw up every once in a while. Everybody does. But he needs to watch his language. And Daryl's like, yeah, I guess. Thanks, Joyce. I'm going to go apologize now. So hugs and happiness all around. Joyce is now the useful mother she always wanted to be.
Okay, I know I'm belaboring this point, but I still don't understand what the difference is between this scene and her saying, you know, we have to learn from this, and him having these issues where he doesn't understand these social cues, and her going, hey, like, sometimes people tell us things in secret, and we're not supposed to tell other people, like.
Because one makes him adorable and precocious, the other one is, I don't know. I got no answer, Danielle.
Or it's even if your
choice.
Child was perfect all of the time, that also is a red flag, right? And it's like, hey, you know, you don't have to be. How tightly wound
her there,
Yeah, you don't have to be perfect. It's great if you're good at things, but, like, you don't need to be. Yeah, maybe just like checking in, want to make sure that you're feeling good. Like, you know, you can fail in our little social dynamic, this new thing that we have going, right? You don't have to be perfect to stay here.
I had no idea this, like, lighthearted kids movie from the 80s would turn out to be such an interesting treatise on parenting.
It makes me so mad.
Yeah, and I don't know if this is like 80s stuff that would like seem normal to most parents in the 80s, or if this is just like, you know, in some hindsight from us in our own like cultural bubble, or if this is like legitimate would have still been insane back then. 80s parents, tell me if this makes perfect sense to you or not, please.
There are opportunities here to parent, Joyce.
No, they're not good enough for her. She needs the right opportunities to make her feel like a stereotypical mother.
I can't.
It's crazy. She has watched too many sitcoms and her brain is poisoned.
All right, I'll let it go for now. Carry on.
Back at the game, Turtle is up at their last at-bat to get the winning run. Andy is putting all kinds of pressure on him. He's like, you're the winning run, Turtle. This is it. It's all on you. And I'm like, dude, chill. Come on. It's just a Little League game.
How was Daryl as good as he was and they're not way ahead?
Because the rest of the team is terrible. He's like, you get one good hitter is not going to compensate for a whole team of people who otherwise strike out, I guess.
Okay, sure.
Although Turtle's also the fastest base runner in the league, so who knows. Anyway, Daryl watches on as Turtle crushes one deep to left field and slides in safe for a home run as the big hero. Everyone is ecstatic.
Yay, Turtle.
And can I just say, I'm really glad we've generally moved away from that kind of hyper-competitive children's sports culture, because boy, does it seem bad for kids.
Yeah, I'm sure that still exists out there, but
it does.
I guess as a society, we're a little less about it.
But also my favorite part is there's a freeze frame of Turtle and Daryl up on everyone's shoulders that ends the scene. I'm like, it's like the end of a sitcom episode or something. It's great. In the middle of a movie. It honestly felt like it kind of like, next time on Daryl. All right, later, Joyce is teaching Daryl piano, and shocker, he's a prodigy.
Oh, I didn't see that coming. He didn't learn anything from his previous conversation with Turtle.
They play a little duet as we cut over to see Howie talking to Andy on his construction site again, looking distressed. Cut to a woman talking to Andy and Joyce. Apparently, Daryl's parents have come forward. They saw his picture in the paper, I guess, or something, but they heard about Daryl and they've come forward to claim him. They have all these like childhood photos as proof. And they're like, oh, yeah, that's Daryl. So they're going to come and take Daryl home with them.
Okay. Do they have a birth certificate?
Cut to Daryl looking wistful out a window. Andy comes up to talk to him. He tells him how much they'll miss him. It's been months, apparently, like 3 or 4 months. And Daryl is all, what if I want to stay with you? And Andy says, children belong to their parents.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and Daryl's like how your car belongs to you? And Andy says, no, nothing like that, but does not elaborate. So
it's like, not like that, but yes, like that.
Yeah, like that is like he's like, children belong to their parents. That is a sentence that should not be said. Put it up there. Maybe you can say children might belong with their parents, but even that is a bit problematic because some parents should not have their children.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the fact that he's like, you mean like with your car? Like, no, not like that, but I will not explain what I did mean, so clearly I did just mean that.
Yeah. Again, more terrible parenting.
The only thing I'm learning from this movie is that Daryl is getting rescued right now.
As far as we know.
Anyway, they agree to stay in touch and hug it out. A knock at the door brings Jeffrey and Ellen, Daryl's parents. Andy assures them that Daryl's fine and a tremendous young man who will be down in a minute. He's just nervous. And Jeffrey's like, surprise. He's like, he feels nervous? Like, well, yeah, he doesn't remember you. I was like, okay.
Nobody explained to them that he has amnesia?
Maybe they didn't expect the extent of it.
That feels like something you want to prep people on before they met their child.
Yeah, you'd think.
Like the foster system would have been like, so let's give you the rundown.
Well, here's the weird part. Daryl appears, and they ask him if he remembers them, the parents, and he says he thinks he does. Daryl asks if he can say goodbye to Turtle first, but Turtle is back in his own house sulking and doesn't want to come and say goodbye. But his mom was like talking, like, Turtle, you gotta go say goodbye to your best friend. You gotta be there for Daryl. And so they go out and they leave the house, and Daryl sees them outside in the street crossing the road, and then Turtle turns and runs away crying before they can say goodbye.
Poor Turtle.
Yes, he'll be murdered shortly, as you said.
I thought he was going to get hit by a car in that scene, actually. So
Really?
he's in the middle of the street, walking slowly across it.
With the mom. The mom's there, too.
So?
Good point.
If this turns into a horror, this is the time.
So Jeffrey asks Daryl if he knows why his friend did that, and Daryl guesses that Turtle was mad at him. Like, is Turtle mad at me? And Jeffrey explains that no, Turtle will miss him, and it makes it hard to say goodbye. And can you imagine how he must feel? And Daryl says he can.
See? Already a better parent.
Thank you, yes. And Jeffrey's all, that's very good, and gets in the car to say goodbye.
Robot.
Andy and Joyce. And Turtle's sister runs up and is all, hey, write to me, I'll call you, all right? And like, what?
Are they friends?
No, why is this like 16-year-old older sister of his friend say like, write to me, 10-year-old little fancy lad, I'll call you. I get that she's just being nice and trying to like make him feel, but it's very weird. And then there's sad music as they all drive away, separating Daryl from his family.
His family, quote unquote.
I mean, again, I think it's a rescue. Already this Jeffrey was like, hey, Daryl, let's explore feelings and how you're feeling.
Thank you. That's all I'm asking Joyce to do.
Like, watch some Bluey. Get a clue on emotional intelligence.
What is happening right now, Joyce?
Yeah, anyway, crazy. They drive Daryl to a small airfield and up to a small but fancy-looking jet plane. Maybe he's a rich, fancy little lad.
He is. Well, if he was a fancy little lad, we assumed he might be rich. I'm still shocked he's not British.
We cut back to Andy and Joyce, and Andy is musing how he doesn't understand why they didn't ask anything about Daryl. Like, they have these photos. All those photos are just of Daryl, but no one else in the photos with him.
It is weird.
And it's like, yeah, but what do you care? He just was a baseball vehicle for you, and Joyce just needed to fulfill her own needy issues. So, honestly, they did ask about him, too. They asked him how he was feeling about Turtle, like the more than you ever asked. Back in the plane, Daryl goes up to see the pilot, who is more than happy to give him a rundown on how the controls instruments work. And Jeffrey and Ellen are talking in the back of the plane, and Jeffrey is saying, we've accomplished something by accident we wouldn't dare do by intent, putting him out there just to see what would happen. When Dr. Mulligan kidnapped it, that was the best thing that could have happened, and its learning potential is greater than I thought.
See, Dr. Mulligan was like trying to save him. He's a robot.
Yeah. So Daryl returns to his parents, and they have a very awkward conversation. He asks if they're really his parents, and there's a long silence.
No, but we're better than your parents, so it's fine.
We then cut to a compound. Inside, Daryl is in a padded room and being put through what looks like a weird MRI machine while strapped to a table.
They gotta check his insides.
Traumatizing. They scan his brain, and Jeffrey says, I think the problem is right there. And Ellen asks if he can reactivate the memories without surgery. Jeffrey flips some switches and we get a lovely cartoon tech animation like from the movie Hackers, like you're flying through, or The Explorers. It's great. I love 80s tech animations. They're the best.
Does Daryl, know that he's different?
Danielle, we're going to get right to it.
Okay. Just how weird is this to Daryl? Is what I'm wondering.
He takes everything stoically. He has very little emotional reaction. Think Data.
Mm-hmm.
So Jeffrey says, let's try talking to him, and starts typing onto a keyboard. What's your name? The screen response, Daryl. He then says, that's incomplete. Expand. And Danielle, I may have lied to you a little bit about the title of this movie, because it's not Daryl. It's D.A.R.Y.L. It's an acronym.
Your favorite.
Try to guess what it stands for, Danielle.
Digital, analog. I don't know why.
That's just what. Okay, sure. Opposites, but sure.
I don't know. He's both digital and analog, Sam.
Okay. Digital analog. Yep. Got it.
What was it? D.A.R.Y.L?
Yeah. It's the name Daryl.
It could be 2 R's.
Sure.
Digital, analog. I don't know what the R stands for.
Okay, skip to the Y then.
Youth. I don't know.
Good. All right.
I'm terrible at these. This is why you do them.
You get pretty close. And when asked to expand that acronym, it spits out Data Analyzing Robot Youth Life Form.
See?
Amazing.
Life form. Oh, that would have been a good one. I was trying to think of something like that.
They spell analyzing with an S for some reason, not a Z.
Again, Bridget, is it British?
No, it's not British. We'll get to it. It's very American. So what a choice. It is spelled analyzing wrong. Which makes me not trust these scientists.
See, they originally programmed him to be British, and then they were like, no, he's too fancy. He'll never fit in here.
Dial back to fancy dude a little bit. Anyway, Daryl's a robot. It's great. Data Analyzing Robot Youth Life Form, which is a crazy acronym. They came up with the name Daryl first and tried to backfit it to be the acronym. Oh, insane.
That was 2 out of 5.
Not bad. We got youth. You didn't get anything else, Danielle.
What was the first one again?
Data.
Oh, that was close. Digital
Data Analyzing Robot. So cut to Daryl sitting in a conference room.
Robot, obviously. Sorry.
Yeah,
I'm
robot.
catching up.
I was like, that was the one I thought you were going to get, honestly, was robot.
Youth. Out of all of the ones.
Which is, frankly, more impressive.
10 points to me.
So Daryl's sitting in a conference room with Jeffrey and Ellen. They're watching a replay of the baseball game from his perspective. Apparently, he has recorded pristine video of all of his experiences.
Yeah, obviously.
We're going to get to this in a minute, but the technology in this movie makes no sense. And Jeffrey asks what caused him to change the way he was playing. Why did he purposely tank those pitches? And Daryl responds, I interpreted the data to indicate that under certain conditions, error was more efficient than maximum performance. And he's like, what conditions? And he said, when relating to others. And Ellen is all, that's just what he was programmed for, perception of the optimum. And Jeffrey's like, I think there's more to it than that. Next, we see a scene of Daryl at a birthday party, and he shows a preference for liking chocolate over vanilla ice cream. Turtle's like, do you want the chocolate or the vanilla? He's like, let me try them. He's like, I think the chocolate. Even though he's not programmed for taste. So how did he taste them? Ellen is still dismissive, saying it's just picking up on behavior patterns. And Jeffrey's like, no, he was programmed to analyze food for nutritional content, but never flavor. So please stop calling him it also.
Is he built to be perfect or built to be human?
Danielle? Hold on.
Okay, because I have a thought related to that, but I will wait until we're done.
It's a good question. When I get to his origin, I have thoughts as well. Okay. So we will have a little powwow where we can get into all of this.
All right,
we'll get to it. So they plan to run some biochemical tests to find out where this all comes from. So cut to Daryl in a terrifying operating theater where they're preparing to take some samples. He's restrained. They've got the medical smock up around his neck and all this stuff on his head.
Samples of what?
Yeah, good question. Don't know. We never find out.
It doesn't make any sense. You don't need to take samples of the equipment in his head.
Danielle, suddenly his EKG goes haywire, and then on the monitor screen, the words come across, I'm frightened. So apparently Daryl is wirelessly connected to the computers of this base all the time, and that's his thoughts and his consciousness lives in the computer. We'll get to it because I have questions. I have so many questions. And Jeffrey sees that he's frightened and goes, all right, we'll cancel the surgery instead of, I don't know, sedating him or something.
Wild.
Cut to the Pentagon, Danielle, because you knew they were going to be involved somehow.
Yeah, I figured this was either secret or it was a government thing.
Yep. Jeffrey is briefing some generals on the project, and they are not thrilled about Daryl feeling feelings like fear or empathy, because clearly they want super soldiers.
Isn't he just doing what? 1, children. What? And 2,
yeah, I'll get to that.
And 2,
believe me, I have questions.
You are programming this thing. Program it not to have emotions.
That is so. They did. He developed them on his own?
No.
Maybe? I don't know.
Listen, maybe someday in the future, whatever, but no.
Okay, I have a theory. Let me get through this whole little explanation here, and we'll talk about maybe the explanations and why they're all nonsense.
Excellent.
So anyway, they're not happy about Daryl having emotions because they clearly are they want super soldiers, and a robot that has feelings is not going to help that. They're terminating the youth life form program. They want an adult version. So, Danielle, why was there a super soldier program making a kid robot to begin with?
Fabulous question. I have to assume for infiltrating purposes. Who's going to think that a kid is maybe a government soldier?
My guess is more that they funded this robot program, and they wanted to start the kid for reasons like kids learn, and therefore we can simulate learning, get a computer that learns, and maybe that'll make it a better machine? Something like that? I don't know. It's never explained. It's a baffling choice.
So they didn't, I mean, obviously they didn't expect that the kid was going to be, like, pushed out into the real world.
Yeah.
But did they have any plans to try and, like, pass him off as a human?
No clue. Never explored.
Because you think that, like, being perfect at everything would not be helpful in terms of
Yes.
in terms of acting like a human. You think that they'd have some kind of learning arc.
Yes. Maybe it was too early in this development process. Also, like, he clearly was good enough to get all the girls in his class to crush on him, so that's got to be worth something.
It does. It just feels like a lot of this problems could have been prevented if he had a learning curve built into him.
Yeah, okay, we'll get to it, but there's more to come, believe me.
I believe you.
So we cut to Daryl watching like 6 TVs and playing video games all at the same time. Jeffrey comes in and Daryl magically turns the TV, says, hey, can you turn that down? And Daryl looks at them, they all like lower their volume. And Jeffrey's like, how did you do that? And Daryl says he can read what a computer is doing and therefore can control it.
That's not how that works.
Nope, it's not. And Jeffrey's like, wait, can you read my thoughts? He's like, no, I can't read people. I'm not psychic. I can just telepathically control machines. Which, what? What? How does that work?
Magic. And it's not like it's pre-Wi-Fi.
It's not like he has like an IR emitter in his nose or something. That's like a universal remote or something. It's crazy. But he can't read people. He has to guess what other people are feeling based on what he's feeling himself. He's learning empathy, Danielle.
Aw, yay.
Must be destroyed. The military has no place for empathy.
That's accurate.
Yeah. He asked the doctor, like, what am I? And Jeffrey just says nothing. He then asks if Andy, Joyce, and Turtle can visit, and Jeffrey says, sure, they can come to our top secret military installation and visit you. He is on board with that plan. And as he leaves, Ellen is there. She was listening. She's like, this is a bad idea. And he's like, no, I'm allowed to bring anyone on and give them clearance if I want to. And I'm like, I'm not sure that's how that works, but okay.
Is he just wanting to see Daryl interact with him?
No, he is feeling feelings, Danielle.
He's attached to the kid.
Yeah, he doesn't want to terminate the Daryl program.
Why did What's-His-Face run away with him then?
Dr. Mulligan?
Yeah.
We will get to it, kind of.
I mean, if the team that's working on him already has feelings for him, and usually somebody runs away with a robot.
Not already. This is a process that's been developing, so we'll get to it. There's more information coming. a lot of this is the exposition part. Calm down. I'm here champion at the bit, but take it down. So we cut to the whole crew being driven to the top secret compound. They meet Jeffrey, and he takes them down the hall to a bank of 80s computers, like the kind of teletypes clicking away. They have Daryl's acronym all over them. And the doctor explains that Daryl was never completely human. He was an experiment in artificial intelligence. He's not just a robot. He has a computer in his head they programmed from this room, and a bank of computers where he, quote, discharges learned information into the mainframe memory. How?
I mean, he's psychic, Sam. It doesn't matter.
This is the part I'm going to get. I'm going to get this right now because this is a good point to do this. So it is very unclear if Daryl is constantly transmitting and storing all his memories into this mainframe. And if not, where is he storing all his memory? Because a computer in the 80s that fit inside the brain wouldn't have enough storage capacity to store high quality recordings of all the things you're seeing. Or
it's the future, Sam. It's the future past.
It's 1985, Danielle. It's not the future of anything.
Yeah,
not even the future of the movie.
AI wasn't even a thing in 85, not in the way that it's created in this movie.
Computers did, and they had 12 megs of memory at best.
Yeah, but this is clearly the future. It's the military. Woo!
It'll make less sense. I'm just saying, I don't buy, is he connected to the mainframe? Is that his brain? Is his brain external? Or does he have is it duplicating a copy what's in his head into the mainframe? It doesn't make any sense to me. So Joyce is skeptical about this whole thing. I don't believe that you made a child robot. And Jeffrey is like, all right, let me show you. He takes him to a computer where he tells him to ask it something only they and Daryl would know. They don't actually ask him any questions. Daryl just says hello to Turtle. And in such a way that Turtle's like, oh yes, that's clearly Daryl. That's our secret greeting kind of thing. And I should mention that.
Why is he explaining this to them?
Great question. Jeffrey also explains that what he's interacting with is not Daryl himself, but Daryl's memories that are stored on the mainframe. So they have a copy of his brain on the computer. It doesn't make any sense. So we cut to them entering an observation room where they can see Daryl in his room. Joyce still thinks he's just a boy, and Jeffrey assures him that not even a skilled doctor could tell Daryl wasn't flesh and blood unless they x-rayed the skull. So here's where he came from. See if this makes sense to you. He was a test tube baby where they put a computer brain inside of him, And then he grows just like a normal boy otherwise. He's like flesh and blood except for the computer brain.
How
Yes.
did they get a computer in his brain?
Good question. Did they start with a tiny little computer that they put into the embryo and then like added to it? Or did they like wait until he had he was like 10 or like 9 and take his brain out when his head cavity is big enough to hold the computer and then put the computer in? How did this work? Where did his brain go? What happened? Or did they like put a tiny computer in there with his brain and it like is plugged into his brain and controlling it? None of this makes sense.
I have big questions about brain computers.
Actually, I'm going to spoil them a little bit. He doesn't have a brain. It's pure computer.
It's pure computer.
Pure computer. So they somehow grew an embryo with like out a brain or something and put a computer in there instead.
They could probably grow a little fetus without a brain.
No, what's going to make the heart beat? What's going to, like, without a brain, you need your brain to live.
It'd have to all be mechanical, that you're, like, forcing this body to exist.
Yeah, how do you do it to an embryo? It's like a few cells.
I don't know.
Yeah,
but assuming you got it to some kind of state where it could exist on machines, then I guess you could put a computer in its brain.
It's crazy, Danielle. It's absolutely insane that they like made a test tube baby and put a computer brain in it, and somehow that's a good explanation.
Yeah.
Wild. Absolutely crazy. And apparently, like, it's all just clearly convenient. He's going to grow like a normal child, but like, what happens if he, like, 40, 50 years from now when he runs out of computer memory? Is he just going to stop learning? Is his brain going to explode? What if there's, like, an electrical problem?
Maybe they can take out some of the memories as he ages?
Well, I guess what the mainframe does. Then he loses his memories. He forgets his childhood.
I mean, you don't have to remember every single thing about your life. Most of us do not remember every single thing about our lives.
I'm just saying, Danielle, this is crazy. It's a crazy premise. Absolutely insane.
Agree. I was not actually arguing that point at all.
So Andy asks the obvious question, like, why? Why do any of this? And, like, also point out, they wanted an adult version for the super soldier program. If they have to actually, like, literally grow the children, they can't just, like, make... Yeah, they can just make... This explains why they had a child robot, because you have to go through the child robot to get to the adult robot, apparently.
It feels like there's an easier way to do this.
Just clone them and grow them as adults or something? I don't know. Like, clearly that technology doesn't exist, but the technology to replace a brain with a computer does. So
then in which case you don't actually need it. Why even bother?
Just get some adult volunteers that swap their brains out?
Why even bother?
Volunteers.
Why did they grow it from an embryo at all?
Maybe they need that to make it interface with the computer so the computer can control the muscles and the body. And
What?
Also, how's the computer powered? Is it like powered by food? Like, what? Doesn't make any sense. Is there a battery it's a plug in? Like, oh, we got to him before his battery died in 6 months. Anyway, the more they explain, the less I understand.
They shouldn't have explained it.
They really shouldn't have.
As is true of so many movies and books.
So after Andy's like, why? Why do any of this? Jeffrey's all, the 5 senses of the human body are the fastest, most efficient method of programming ever devised. Better than someone sitting at a computer terminal punching in keys. I'm like, what? What? Also, 5 senses. We don't have 5. We have more than that. That's a myth. But also, like, I wouldn't call our senses program. Like, we learn using our ways of interacting with the world, but I wouldn't say that, like, our eyes and ears program us. I mean, I guess that's a reductive way to look at it, but I think typing things into a computer is way more efficient because you can actually control what it does.
And it's notoriously faulty, our senses. Like,
yeah.
They're not right most of the time.
Yeah, our brains are making stuff up all the time.
Yeah, and it's all relative to what you've experienced, so interesting choice.
So anyway, this whole science project sounds like, I can't imagine how they got the government to fund this, like what they pitched. It was crazy. Like,
maybe they just said super soldiers and they were like, yes.
That has to be it. That has to be it. We'll tell them super soldiers are a possibility, but we're going to start with our child robot program.
Yeah, but not until for like 16 to 18 years are we going to actually have a super soldier for you.
Well, no, they're not going to have that because they're going to have the one prototype and they have to spend another 20 years growing the rest of them.
Yeah, crazy. I love that this kid got to 10 years old and they still haven't made any more.
Yeah. You'd think there'd be more. I guess they'd have enough money to grow more test tube Daryls.
Please. Data, analyzing, robot, youth, life forms.
Yeah, you got it! Daryls. So Turtle wanders off down to see Daryl, and they chat about how, do you feel the same way I do? And Daryl's like, how would I know? I'm not you. I don't know how you feel, but it feels like I feel, like that kind of stuff. And the others come down and Daryl runs to give Andy and Joyce a hug. And we cut to Jeffrey leading them out. He's all, if you're sure, give me 5 days. If you don't hear from me, call the press, your congressman, anyone.
And say what? There's a secret government organization. In the mountains.
Hey, guys, there's a secret child robot program in the mountains. Like, just ask the government. I'm sure they'll tell you all about it. And they won't lie or cover it up or anything.
It's government sponsored. They're not going to, that's going to go nowhere.
They call you congressman. What's your congressman say? Yes, I approve this program. I got a lot of pork for this. Trust me. So we cut to night. A convoy of jeeps is coming to the facility. Jeffrey and Ellen look out the windows to see them in surprise. Soldiers pour out, and a general walks in, thanking Ellen for tipping them off.
Dun, dun, dun. I knew she was the weak link.
Yeah. So Jeffrey tells the general he thinks Daryl is more than a machine now. They have no right to destroy him. Ellen disagrees, saying he fell into the same trap as Dr. Mulligan, assigning human emotion to a machine. So apparently, what happened was, after working with Daryl for however long, Dr. Mulligan figured out, oh, he's human. I gotta get him out of here. It's not right to keep him as an experiment, and took him out to the woods and set him free like a rabbit or whatever.
Listen, I don't disagree with neither Jeffrey nor Ellen. We don't know. We don't have enough information.
And now Jeffrey, after getting Daryl back from his brief excursion into the rest of humanity, is like, oh, I now on board with him being a full-on human being, and I'm now plotting to make sure he can't be destroyed.
So his entire turnaround, Jeffrey's entire turnaround, was just watching him interact out in the world? Yeah,
Jeffrey's entire turnaround, when he gets back, he's like, oh, wait, you feel things now? You have emotions? You are expressing empathy? These are things we didn't program. You have taste preferences? These are things we have programmed for you. You've grown beyond the programming we put in you, therefore you are more than a robot.
Don't you think you'd do a bigger deep dive as to, maybe something in the program is causing him to feel this way?
And this gets into, a fundamental question of what is sentience, what is consciousness, what is,
Yeah, this is classic AI, whatever. But in the context of this movie.
Yeah. And is it actually feeling empathy or is it just pretending to feel empathy, and what's the difference, right? And that's not a question that this movie has any interest in exploring.
This 1985 Daryl movie is not going to.
Nope. They don't care at all about that. There's Daryl's a real boy. He Pinocchio'd it. Way to go, Daryl.
He Pinocchio'd it. Well, good for Daryl, I guess. I'm on Daryl's side, I suppose, unless he turns out to be a horror icon.
I mean, I'm on Daryl's side until he's back with Joyce and Andy when he's in the most danger possible.
Yeah, terrible parents. Did they vet these people? What are they?
So Jeffrey insists that he has a flesh and blood body. He'll decompose, he'll die. If we kill him, it's still killing him. And the general's like, that doesn't matter. If you won't dispose of him, we'll get Ellen to do it. And so finally, we cut to Ellen and Jeffrey exiting a surgery suite in a blood-stained scrubs where the general is waiting in the room. He's like, is it done? And like, yes, it's done. I hope you're both satisfied. And Jeffrey storms out.
It's fine. They saved his consciousness or something.
Meanwhile, the general goes into the suite and types onto the computer and sees the words, experiment terminated. Cut to Jeffrey leaving the facility in his car as the general clears out the computers one by one. For some reason, the general is doing this. He goes up to them, like, turn them off. And as he's turning them off, one of them says, terminated, terminated. This is backup. I hope we get away with this. And then it shuts off really quickly. And again, is Daryl transmitting his consciousness in real time to the computers at all the time? And if so, if they turn off all these computers, does his brain go away? Who knows?
Maybe there it goes to the cloud, Sam.
What cloud? It's 1985, Danielle.
This is the future. The future past.
It's literally the present of the movie.
But clearly they have the capabilities that we didn't realize 1985 had.
They don't. They really don't. So the jig is up. The general confronts Ellen and is like, hey, you alerted me to this whole thing. Why did you suddenly just turn against me and get Daryl free? And she says, a machine becomes human when you can't tell the difference anymore. No. I get Turing test, sure. Oh, it's a question, Danielle. It's just simplified. Also, when did she get on board with Daryl being human? In the 10 minutes between having that conversation with the general and then going to surgery, she's like, well, I guess I'm on board now. Let's fake his death.
Maybe when she went in there to kill what ostensibly looked like a little boy, she was like, oh, no. I have
She didn't think about that beforehand?
Dang it.
It's crazy now. People, they turn around so quickly. Like Mulligan, turned. Jeffrey, turned. Ellen, turned. Look at like a disease that gets to their brains.
It's probably Daryl.
Yeah, programming their brain. He is psychic. Crazy. I control computers, machines, not brains. Anyway.
Plot twist.
Anyway, Jeffrey is just leaving when the call comes in to stop him. A pursuit is quickly mobilized. Daryl comes out from under the back seat where he was hiding and spots the pursuers. Jeffrey pulls off the main road and almost crashes. He drives off an embankment onto another road.
Is he going to let him loose in the woods again? He's going to pull a body from his trunk and
Crazier than that, Danielle. Alas, they're quickly surrounded by a police car. Daryl insists they head for the freeway, so off they drive. Daryl's like, hey, let me drive. I'm better at it than you are. He's like, and Jeffrey's like, sure. And they swap places in the car, and now Daryl is driving the car because he played pole position now and knows how to drive a car.
So they didn't actually murder this little boy / AI.
No, they just pretended to, I guess.
But
I didn't cover the tracks very well.
Where did the...
Okay, no, questions. Don't have answers. Maybe it was paint. Anyway, so Daryl starts weaving around the car like he did when playing pole.
Follow-up question. Okay. Why did they even need to, cut up Daryl? Couldn't they just turn off the computers and he's dead?
That's my question. I think the question I don't have an answer to is if the computer in his brain operates independently or if the ones in the compound are linked to it somehow that is essential. If they're just like backups or data collection or if they actually operate him. I don't know.
Well, and then I actually don't think they still don't have to cut anything because what are they cutting? Can they knock him out? He's got a computer for a brain. So are they just cutting him open because then he's strapped down there and he's awake for the whole thing? They could just
chop him up and incinerate him, I think, or whatever.
They don't have to chop him up. They could just cremate him and then
alive. I don't know,
Danielle,
the horror.
But is he alive? They're already arguing that he's just a computer, in which case just shove him in the stupid crematorium. But also, just electrocute
Put that child in the crematorium. You heard it here first from Danielle.
Can't you electrocute the brain or something? There are easier ways to short this than to cut
this
him
became the Danielle podcast on how to murder a child. You could electrocute them, shove the kid to a crematorium.
The blood really threw me off. I'm like, why would you ever have to cut the computer out of his brain? That makes zero sense to me.
Maybe there's a government property and they want to study it or put it in the next one or whatever.
Okay, sure.
I don't know, Danielle. Go with it. It doesn't make any sense.
Then it would still be Daryl. The computer is what makes Daryl.
No, because they wrecked the memory. It's reformatted or whatever.
Well, then they don't need to kill him.
Does reformat his brain inside his head?
Yes.
But they want the adult super soldiers, not the kid super soldiers.
If they can...
Danielle, yes, that is the point, Danielle. None of this makes sense. That is correct.
If you can reformat his brain and get rid of his memories, then you don't need to murder him with blood.
Yeah, but that's more dramatic.
I don't understand. I think the blood really jumped the shark for me.
I think the blood is them trying to pull a fast one on the general. See? Blood, he's dead.
We murdered him.
Got you.
We murdered the computer.
Anyway, well, I'm glad this movie finally got you a breaking point.
So they're driving around. Daryl's driving.
Daryl's out driving. He's weaving in and out of traffic like he did when he was playing pole position. So see, Mom, video games can be useful.
Duh.
Daryl calmly drives like a madman, including popping the car up onto two wheels to squeeze between traffic.
Sure.
None of that shakes the cops until he hits a convenient ramp and jumps across into oncoming traffic and starts weaving through that. He exits the highway, and then they're clear, it seems. Cut to morning. They ditch the car at a farmhouse, and then they steal a pickup truck. They drive off and encounter a roadblock ahead. Luckily, it's just one cop. Jeffrey pulls up and starts to talk to the cop as we see Daryl sneak out of the woods and up to the cop's car. Inside the car, Daryl pulls out a bunch of wires before escaping. Jeffrey makes it through the roadblock somehow. He just talks to him. They don't check his ID or anything.
They don't have Jeffrey's picture.
Nope. They're just all right, we're looking for two people. You're only one person. Can't be you.
You don't have a kid with you, so you must be fine.
Yeah, he's not hiding like you did when you first escaped.
They didn't check his trunk. Who knows?
So they make it through the roadblock, and he drives 100 feet away and stops and lets Daryl run back into the truck in full view of the other cop, which is crazy. Just go around a bend and pick him up there where you're out in the clear. So the cop runs to his car, but it's been disabled by Daryl. The radio's gone. He can't get the
cop
car.
Actually saw them. I just thought they were going to pick him up.
No, he saw them.
That's so dumb.
It's very dumb. So I guess they were assuming they've rendered him useless by destroying his radio, but he can still tell people and give them a clue. You're better off if he didn't. Anyway, it's dumb. But the cop starts shooting his shotgun off into the air because guess what? Just around the next corner is another roadblock, apparently.
Oops.
Yeah, for some reason. So the other cop, that robot, starts pointing his shotgun and starts blasting through the windshield. And Jeffrey floors it, plows through the roadblock and continues on. But he's hit. He's bleeding out in his gut.
Oh no, but why would there be 2 roadblocks so close together?
Like 30 feet apart? Great question, Danielle. Apparently, like the general has this whole conversation, like, how are we going to catch him? Like, we're spread very thin, sir. We don't have a lot of people out there looking for him. So, like, why put 2 roadblocks that close together?
We'll do them every 30 feet on the same road.
Yes, that's the way to use our limited resources.
It's the only road out of town. Surely one of these will catch him.
The movie takes a hard left turn to Nonsenseville, like, from the moment we get that he's a robot. So the general is not happy about them not being caught yet. Like, they hear about the incident, and he's like, we must catch or kill them before they get to the press. And, like, what is the press going to do about this? Like, okay, secret government robot program. Okay, guess we'll destroy Daryl, and we'll swear never to do it again. You can trust us.
Why would they go to the press? They're trying to be on the down low, get him back to his family properly or something. What are we doing?
Maybe they're hoping, like, he'll be safe. If everyone knows about him, the government can't destroy him because it'll be a public outcry.
I mean, yes, I assume that's the idea.
But then you're going to have all the people like with the, as Asimov would say, the Frankenstein complex. You're like, it's an evil abomination, kill it. So, like, there's not really a winning there. Anyway, we cut to later. The car's been pulled over, and Jeffrey's lying in a field with his head in Daryl's lap under a tree. He's dying. Daryl laments that he wasn't given a medical program that could have helped since he wasn't old enough, and Jeffrey confesses he took everything from him, took him away from his family, but Daryl insists he gave him everything too, made him who he is. He tells Daryl to remember that he is a real person, then dies.
I don't understand why he wouldn't have a medical program just because he's a child.
I guess the brain computer couldn't handle it. Yeah.
Like, there's certain ages you're allowed to have certain programming.
You're not old enough to be in medical school, Danielle. You can't. It's illegal to teach them. This isn't Doogie Howser.
There's like certain topics you're just not allowed to have as a child.
I guess. They're the government secret robot program, Danielle. They're not stupid.
Why would you not give your super soldier a medical program?
Great question. No answer. So cut to that night. Daryl is at an air base. He scales the fence and walks across the tarmac. A guard dog almost attacks him, but somehow he, like, deflects it or injures the dog and escapes.
Psychic.
Yeah, that's it. He also manages to climb up all the way to the control room without being spotted and find a computer terminal in the hallway and just starts hacking away at it. And that sets off all these fire alerts all across the base, and the base goes into emergency mode. While everyone is distracted by the fake fires, Daryl finds a hangar with a supersonic jet in it and manages to steal it.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know anything about flying an SR-71 Blackbird, but I do know it probably takes more than one person to get that thing ready for takeoff out of the hangar.
Especially if you're 10. Do you even reach anything? Like,
I have no idea how he did this. Everyone on the runway just kind of watches this giant jet plane sort of pull off and take off. Like, well, what are you going to do about it, I guess?
That's true. If somebody steals your jet, what are you going to do about it?
The general says that if that plane leaves U.S. airspace, they'll have to self-destruct it. And I don't guess why they just do that anyway. They want to kill Daryl.
Why don't they just do it on the...
Yeah, do it immediately. Blow it up.
Isn't that more important? Like, the government will support that. Like...
They'll cover up. They'll say there was a training accident or something. Like, I think it's more that, like, if he escapes out of U.S. airspace, he's free. And we can't let that happen. So we have to blow him up before he does that. But, like, even if he escapes U.S. airspace, you would still shoot him down. Like, no one's going to like, oh, no, you're going to be prosecuted for blowing up a plane over the Atlantic or whatever.
What's more important, that, like, he doesn't escape? Or, like, you would want that technology not to leave the ground. Like,
right.
Why would...
Yeah.
It's more... Why just blow it up on the tarmac, man?
Yeah, right. Blow it up as soon as it takes off. It's right still in the airbase. You can recover all the pieces. But apparently there has to be like a 6 minutes and 30 seconds until he reaches the edge of U.S. airspace, and then they're going to blow it up then with a self-destruct because
makes
reasons.
0 sense, whatever.
None of this makes sense. Everyone is an idiot in this movie. And so we cut to the plane flying with some not too terrible like CG or green screen for the time. So good on you, movie. Daryl engages the autopilot, setting it for Andy and Joyce's house. It starts like laughing manically.
Like land it in their field. What is the plan?
Danielle, the ending of this movie is insane. I was on board, like, sure, happy ending, whatever, but like the way it gets there, ooh. The radio comes on, and the voice says if he has 6 minutes before he leaves U.S. airspace, and they'll destroy the jet. And he's like, cool, you got it, buddy.
Does he parachute out?
So cut to Turtle, who gets a call on his walkie-talkie. It's Daryl. How?
Because he's psychic.
No, Daryl apparently, like, the general's like, why can't we hear what he's saying on the radio? It's like, well, apparently he switched to a different frequency. So this SR-71 Blackbird supersonic jet plane has the ability to tune his radio to walkie-talkie for children frequency.
I mean, sure, why not?
And actually, and only that one walkie-talkie from miles away? Who knows? It doesn't make any sense. Anyway, Daryl tells Turtle to meet him at the Blue Lake before school in like 20 minutes. He'll be there soon.
I would assume he tapped into the Jet's computer and made it send a signal to the walkie-talkie.
Yeah, but the point is, how does it physically do that? A radio doesn't work that way.
Doesn't matter, Sam. How does he have a computer for a brain? Like, what are you wanting from this movie?
So you were like, how is there blood on their aprons is too much, but like, oh yeah, magic jet radio, sure.
Yes.
Great. Now we really established that.
I know less about radios than I do about cutting brains out of children, I guess.
I don't think that's true, Danielle. I hope it's not true. I really hope it's not true.
You don't know my life.
Okay, murderer. I didn't think I'd find a worse parent than Joyce, but here we are.
I would be a great parent. I just told Joyce 8
You love cutting brains
things.
out of people's heads. What kids want their brain cut out of their
but
head?
But I would
like
accept
Danielle.
my child as they are, Sam.
Without a brain.
Never said I'd murder my own child.
No, okay. I don't trust you, Danielle.
That's okay. I'm not babysitting your kids, so it doesn't matter.
That is never going to happen. Daryl then takes some gum he's been chewing and uses it to cover the camera in the cockpit, so now the general can't see him, and he's flying incognito.
Okay.
Daryl then resets the autopilot to something else. With 30 seconds left until he blows up, Daryl prepares to eject, and just before he does so, there's a little button that says auto eject beacon, just like turns it off, and then he ejects, and then the plane explodes just after he ejects.
Excellent.
The general asks, is there any way you could have ejected? But he's told there's a tracker on the ejector mechanism, so they would know if he ejected. Like, no, there isn't. There's a button you can push to turn it off. It's that easy. And nobody questions. Like, yeah, that's fine. He's dead. We're 100% sure.
I love that they think they got one over on Daryl.
Yeah, they're just satisfied that easily turn offable eject beacon is enough to confirm this government secret is completely destroyed. Like, they didn't do any follow-up. They don't got to, like, try to recover his body. They're just like, yeah, good enough for us. We're done.
That sounds like the government.
Kinda. Maybe.
This is the most realistic part of this movie.
Meanwhile, Turtle and his sister take their bikes out to the lake, and Daryl floats down on a parachute perfectly into the lake just before they arrive. The ejector seat sinks to the bottom, and as Turtle and his sister bike up, they see Daryl's body float up to the surface, face down. Turtle runs in, swimming after him, while his older sister tries to flag down a car to help. Cut to a hospital. Turtle and his sister are waiting there when Andy and Joyce come out crying. It seems that Daryl didn't make it. He's dead.
Oh, sure, but he's a computer. Did it
We'll
short
get to
him?
that.
Did the water cause an issue? Was he not taking showers?
They drive off, and we see a mysterious person in a car watching them and holding a briefcase. We see them from behind. We don't know who it is. Back with Andy and Joyce at their house, everyone is sad. Turtle is insisting that Daryl can't be dead. He's a robot. Oxygen feeds your brain, but his brain is a microcomputer that can't die, so it doesn't need oxygen. So it doesn't matter that he couldn't breathe. I'm like, all right, sure. But he has other organs, right? Like your heart and your liver and your, like, the rest of your body still needs oxygen to function. Like, just because your brain might not need oxygen doesn't mean, like, the rest of your organic
but
body
does his computer
wouldn't
brain
die.
somehow process, like, does it need oxygen to process into your organs? Is it just
Well,
making the rest of your organs function?
all your cells need oxygen to, like, operate. That's how cells work, right? They're energy for your cells. Even if your brain is alive, the rest of your body is dead.
That just makes more questions with the computer brain.
Yeah, right, exactly. Thank you. But I'm like, again, if his body is human, if you deoxygenate a human body, it's going to, like, you're going to get necrosis. Flesh is going to be dead. There's nothing around that. Just because your brain might come back doesn't mean, like, your muscles will be suddenly healed or whatever.
Sure.
Anyway, back in the hospital, we see the mysterious figure. It's Ellen. She pulls off the sheet from Daryl's corpse. And how'd she get in there? Like, hi, I'm here to see the dead boy. And they're like, sure, come right in, lady.
She snuck in, obviously. It's 1985. They didn't have, like, the whole security system that we have now. You could go to the airport and to the wing where you were getting into the airplane.
This is not an airport, Daniel. This is a hospital.
Yeah, even probably less security.
I'm not buying it. I like to imagine she, like, knocked out the guards and, like, snuck in. Anyway, she says she knows Daryl can hear her as she pulls out the briefcase. Cut to Daryl running down the street to his home. Just as Turtle goes outside, it's all hugs and everyone sees him. Happy music plays as they hug and the credits roll and the song Somewhere I Belong, performed by Teddy Pendergrass, plays. Maybe it was made for the movie? Who knows? The end.
I think that's all in his head because he's dead. But
You
also,
think this is a hallucination from his dying brain?
But also, the government,
Yep.
if there's guards outside of his room, or there are guards
I'm not
outside
saying there
of
are
his
guards.
room?
I have no idea.
Okay.
They're just making
it
that
doesn't matter because they know that these parents were there, right?
Yeah, so if Daryl suddenly reappears like, let me get you a social security card, Daryl, they're like, oh, this is fine.
Yeah, I 100% thought that they were going to, like, take out his brain and put it at another kid so that he could continue, like,
Like, just steal another kid's body?
No, like, not murder another child, but like,
Yeah.
however, fake, I don't know, something that was already dead. I figured there was a
They take a
plot
dead
there.
child and resurrect it with Danielle, what's with you in horror movies today?
I just felt like there were solutions to this
Hey,
problem.
your child who died, he's back, but he's not your child anymore. What a horror show.
Made him look different? I mean, literally anything.
Nope.
Maybe all that blood was from, like, a plastic surgery.
Apparently, his body could survive no oxygen for hours and be totally fine with no degradation. So
Well, that's also shenanigans. I just don't understand how he would ever live a happy life with them. They
Nope.
know that the parents exist. If the parents had never gone to the facility, then maybe.
there are two things going on here. Two options I see. One, they're going to try to play it off that he faked his death, like, and so the government's looking for him. They're going to, like, make him out to be a different child. They're going to pretend to give him a new name, that kind of thing. But the government's still going to be observing them. Or maybe, you know, they'll just pull it off as, like, they foster another kid or something, and they still mourn Daryl. Or B, they're going to go to the press and try to, like, make this whole thing, like, a public scandal. Like, we're going to save our child. He's now a hero, kind of thing.
Sure.
And hopefully get the public on their side. Either way, nonsense.
Or hear me out. You could have ignored the whole plot line where they go to the actual secret facility, and then they would be anonymous, and they could just raise this kid in peace.
But they didn't do that, Danielle.
They could have.
I'm going to say they couldn't have done that for two reasons. One, the government already knew they had Daryl the first time
Why did they know?
because they went to retrieve him.
Yeah. So they told them specifically where the kid was?
Like, how did they found out where he was? It wasn't like Jeffrey came across, like, I'm going to go secretly pick up this kid because I somehow came across the information myself. There was a search for him. They knew he was missing.
They could have.
Helicopters were involved. And so,
Helicopters. Oh, I forgot about the helicopters.
I mean, like, there was actually, like, resources. It wasn't just, like, a guy in his own doing it. And when Jeffrey went to look for him, he wasn't on board the Daryl's a human train. He was still on the Daryl's a robot train.
Yeah, for like 3 seconds.
Yeah, but enough that, like, hey, we're going to go pick up the child and bring him back to the facility. They're going to ask questions, like, give us a report. Where did he go? Where did you find him? How did he escape? There's
Okay.
going to be questions. So that ship has sailed, Danielle, is my point.
They need to move, or like, it's 85.
They need to change their
could've-
identities and move to
like,
Mexico. That's what
85,
they ought to
it
do.
wouldn't have been that hard.
Yeah, that's the real answer, Danielle. They got to go to Mexico. Like, the government knows about them. Whatever they did, whether they went to the facility or not, they're on the government's radar. They got to get out of town.
Yeah, the ending of this does make any sense to me.
Yeah, nope. The whole movie doesn't make any sense, Danielle.
It made more sense if they had murdered another child. I'm going to be honest.
What is with you and child murder today?
This is
You are
story.
not right.
This story
No, this is you.
about
This is
child
you.
murder.
The first thing you said is he going to murder people? He's going to murder turtle.
'Cause it
Murder-
sounds-
murder turtle.
It sounds like this was obviously either going 3 directions, Sam, when you gave me the premise of this. It was either superhero nonsense, it was a robot, or it was a horror movie where he was a demon child.
Or an alien.
Sure. The, like, demon/alien. Like, there's clear, like, those are, like, your 3 real choices.
Super soldier program. Maybe he was genetically enhanced. Who knows?
That was the robot. That was the robot thing.
No, he's not a robot, though, just like a regular human.
Yeah, but he's kind of a robot. I'm talking about there's certain genres it fell into. This clearly,
Okay,
like,
fine.
there were like 3 major genres this movie was going to go after.
And you went straight for child murder first.
I went to horror because it's about a push out of a moving vehicle. He's brought to an orphanage. He's raised by foster parents. How is that not a horror story?
I mean, it kind of is a horror movie when you think about it. Like, the whole idea of, like, what is consciousness?
And he's too perfect in the beginning. Like, that's how horror movies start, Sam. Haven't you ever seen, like, Damien or something?
Yeah, I mean, you have to keep, like, advocating for the child murder or, like, taking the brain out or, like, all the other stuff you're talking about. You are on the pro-murder children train.
Just in this story. It would have made more sense. It would have solved the ending of this movie.
You're on a list now, Danielle, that's for sure.
Sorry, everybody. I am not pro... You know what? Never mind.
Can't even say
I
it.
think given the plot of this, it would have made more sense for the brain to have lived on in a different body.
Okay, well, that is, I think, a way creepier ending.
Yeah, but, like, it's already creepy. It would have just waved away like, oh, we didn't really murder any children, it's fine. Like, they already put a computer in a baby brain.
I don't think it would work. I think that the brain is bonded to the body.
I think you could wave it away. It's 1985
Danielle,
and
who
this
knows?
crazy movie.
This is a magic computer that connects to the other one in the other room, but doesn't need to connect to it. Doesn't make any sense.
I just think it'd be really easy to not have this ending.
Okay, Danielle, I'll take your notes to heart. I think your ending doesn't make a whole lot more sense, I'll be honest.
It doesn't have to.
And also, doesn't fit into the whole vibe of the movie either. It kind of like changes the whole tone.
You wouldn't explain the fact that you murdered a child to put the brain in there. You'd just be like, I don't know, we changed his looks.
Give plastic surgery is the same thing, Dan. They're going to do plastic surgery later. Maybe they're going to do that. Maybe we're going to have like a whole
That's what I said earlier.
surgery.
So they should do, that's where all the blood came from, was the plastic surgery.
I'm saying that we should just go to Mexico. I think that's the easiest solution.
Yeah, I think they should leave the country.
All right, well, that's Daryl, Danielle. Another gem from my childhood.
You watched the weirdest movies as a child.
And this is why we do this, Danielle. This is why I am the way I am.
Explains a lot.
Also, Daryl is not the weirdest. It has a cult following, apparently.
I believe that. I 100% believe that.
Anyway.
I would not watch this movie based on your...
Why
something.
not? It's great. I'll be honest. This movie is very fluffy. Like, there's not a lot there. It is a fairly light, breezy little, heartwarming story if you ignore all the deeper implications and the terrible parenting, which we got into here, but you can easily sort of just gloss over those while you're watching it mindlessly.
Which is why I said child murder at the end wouldn't matter, because you're blazing through so many giant
child murder
issues.
is such a big different turn from everything else. Like, that takes it out of like family-friendly movie to crazy town.
Except you're already dealing with like the ethics of AI and the...
They're not, Danielle. That's us. We did that. They
Yes,
didn't.
that's what I'm saying. It's breezing through all these ethical issues. What's
But those
one
are not
more,
like human
Sam?
concerns. Okay, sure. Well,
And
we'll
I
have
said
to
you
agree
wouldn't
to
have to kill it.
disagree.
It could just be a recently dead child.
Yeah, that's not even better, Danielle.
Maybe they donated the body to science.
We'll have to agree to disagree on that one. Maybe you should watch this movie, Danielle, and maybe you'll change your mind.
Maybe in the intervening 10 years, they figured out how to like not do a test tube, baby.
Sure.
Crazy.
That's Daryl, Danielle, a movie that starts out as a sweet family story and goes crazy at the end.
Solid addition
Love
to
it.
the Book Retorts canon.
I was like, I really hope this goes crazier than I remember. Like, yes, it does. Well, if you out there want to write and explain to us how Daryl's brain works, you can do so at bookretorts.com.
You can also blue sky us at Book Retorts.
Also, if you want to weigh in on the debate of whether Daryl is a human or a robot and should have been killed in the beginning, you can tell us that too. We'll listen.
Or if you have any solutions to the end of this movie, besides
That would
them
also be
just leaving
helpful.
the
We can
country.
use those. Yeah. And if you want to help fund our new boy band, the Fancy Lad and the... I forgot the rest of them. What are they called again? Oh, I remember that. You want to help fund our new band, the Fancy Lad and the Saucy Girls, you can do so at patreon.com/bookretorts.
Gonna be a winner.
Who doesn't like Fancy Lads and Saucy Girls?
They could
We all
just be
do.
it could be an AI band soon.
Danielle, I have some self-respect, thank you.
I'm just saying it'd be in theme.
I don't...
Hear
Daryl,
me out. It could be real people pretending to be AI.
There we go. Now I'm on board. That's it. That's the way to
That's
do
the
it.
hook.
Like a reverse Milli Vanilli.
Exactly that.
Great. Perfect. I don't know if that made any sense.
It made sense to me.
Okay. Well, until then, be a better parent, please.
Yeah, I'm not supportive
Joyce.
that he ended up with them. Maybe they'll learn
Yeah.
to be better parents with him as a
We
child.
can only hope. Otherwise, it really is a very tragic ending.
I'm not sure they're prepared knowing that he's a robot human
Yeah.
child.
What are they going to do? Like, if he has to go in for medical treatment or whatever, like, if there's a problem, they're never going to know if it's like, oh, this normal puberty or is this like robot puberty?
Yeah, maybe Ellen's going to stay on board as kind of like a backup, like a grandparent, an
Oh,
auntie.
maybe, yeah. After the government won't have any problems with that, maybe she'll run to Mexico with them.
I mean, it's safer for her.
All right. Well, if that happens, we'll be sure to let you know. But until then, bye.
Take care, everybody.
There's a dumber version of this that's, I think, earlier with Robert Redford called The Computer Wore Tennis Shoes.
No, not that. I've seen that, but I saw that at your house, but it's...
Yeah.
It's
You're welcome. You're welcome.
How many times do I say that? But how many movies did we watch at your house?
This is why we can do this podcast.
I don't feel like I watched that many movies at your house, but then every like 5th or 6th episode, I'm like, I remember that movie.
Delightful.